potential series. Let me know if you want to see more of these, and I will make them a series. Today we're going to be making national sandwiches from 4 countries: England, Ireland, Italy, and France. We're going to be making them, comparing them, and tasting them at the end. Stick around and let me know what you want to see next. Let's go. Okay, so the first sandwich we're going to be making is called the bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich, and this is also called the BLT. Well, we're going to have to do a little bit of prep work before we can get into it, so I'm going to grab this. And we're going to have to slice this tomato. Now, while our friends in Great Britain do not have a national sandwich to speak of, a poll showed that the BLT was the favorite sandwich among our British friends. So this first one is going to be for the British. So we're going to be cutting some tomatoes. A nice even line. We're going to discard that part, and we're just going to get a nice solid piece. And we're looking not for a whole lot here. Perhaps 2 pieces will do us for at least this sandwich. And that's enough. That's enough for me anyways. So I take this, bring over our plate, and we're going to transfer our pieces over so we can have a little bit more free reign over our board. And of course, we are also going to clean our workspace as we go. Now, nobody really agrees where the BLT came from. Some people say that it is from English tea sandwiches. Others say it's American. We can all just agree it's delicious. So I have 2 pieces of bread here. This is artisanal bread, so no particular or specific type of bread. It has been lightly toasted, not fried. Some sandwiches you're going to see on here are fried. This, just toasted. The only real, I guess, tip or way that you can do this sandwich a bit of a disservice is if you apply your oils, and in this case it's going to be mayonnaise. If you apply it to too hot of bread, if the bread is too hot, it'll just become oil and you won't even taste it. You'll just be ingesting extra fat for no reason. This is Hellmann's plant-based mayonnaise. The reason why it's plant-based is because I am allergic to eggs. Did you know that was a thing? I sure didn't until I got it. So, traditionally, sandwiches, a lot of these things can go with butter or mayonnaise, but mayonnaise has such a history with the BLT. We're going to stay very traditional. And all we're doing is just coating the bottom. is a mayonnaise lover, and that's okay. I guess it's really not. I'm just kidding. I love mayonnaise. So, next up, we're going to take our, what they call butter lettuce. Beautiful green butter lettuce, perfect for sandwiches. And we're just going to put it as so, in no particular order. I'll grab some more substantial pieces and align them out. Obviously, when you eat this sandwich, you compress it and the lettuce kind of gets lost, so we're going to put just a little bit extra, I guess you could say. So, there's our lettuce. Now, what do we need in the middle? Well, I suppose there might be a theory or order of things, but we're going to just go crazy and break up that order. Next, I'm going to take my tomatoes that we cut, put one there, and one there. And now you have your bases right there. And then we're going to work on this side right here, and we still have the star of the show, which is going to be our bacon. So, bring the bacon forthright. Now, this is kind of what I do. You don't want to skip on the bacon, so I will put half strips and line them up here. And then, in addition to that, I have these whole strips as such, and I'll line them up this way. Now, the reason why I put the tomatoes down first is because that mayonnaise is almost going to act as a holder of that bacon in place, so the bacon's not slipping and sliding, because if the only thing that you have when you bite into it is lettuce and tomato, that's just kind of disappointing. So we want to make sure that there's a crunch in every bite. Once we do that, I'm going to go ahead and grab our base. I'll press it down. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring back our knife so we can do a bit of a cross section, and I'm just going to cut it right down the middle. Not too many wrong ways to do this, but you do want to apply more of a pressure than a saw motion, because if you put in a saw motion, you're going to tear the bread. So here's our cross section, and there you have a bacon, lettuce, tomato. Cheers to our friends in Great Britain. Our next sandwich is going to be from the country of Italy, and it is going to be called the tramezzino. I believe if it is plural, it is referred to as the tramezzini, and if it is singular, it is tramezzino. So, like before, we're going to need to do just a little bit of prep work here. So we're going to get our tomato back, and I need to slice this super, super thin, and I'm only going to need one slice, so that's nice. Hey, I arrived. Okay. So just get a super, super thin slice here. Just like that. And what the hey, I'll do one more. So the tramezzini or tramezzino is a finger sandwich. And part of being a finger sandwich is that it is dainty, it is light, it is airy. So I'm going to take our tomato and place it to the we should not need that anymore. And then, of course, clean off the board so that we can get ready to move on to the next step. We have just one more thing to do for preparation, and that is mozzarella. So this is somewhat fresh, I don't know, mozzarella, and it's actually pre-sliced, so I don't think that we'll have to do anything here. But let's see. So here's our mozzarella. I do believe this is probably way more than we're actually going to need, but we're just going to go with it. So put a couple of pieces to the side, and we'll see what we end up with. But we're going to bring in our tramezzino bread now. You know, this is tramezzino bread, but typically the bread is going to be white bread, and they only had whole wheat, so we're just going to make do with what we can. So, as you can see, it's very, very thin finger sandwiches, remember, so we're going to bring in our tomatoes. Tomato there. Tomato here. Now we're going to just line up the mozzarella. And I think that's all I'm going to do right there. So we won't need these. And then I'm going to take a little cup that I have here, and this just has a little bit of pressed olive oil, and just very conservatively, just a little bit of olive oil. You don't want to use too much, obviously, because olive oil can pack a punch. Now, and take our sandwich there. Now, the tramezzino is as much about presentation as it is about taste, so we need to make it look good. The tramezzino has no crust on it, so I'm going to trim that off. Again, firm pressure. Keep everything in bounds, like a soccer field, a football pitch. And make it a square. Just like that. Discard the rest. Clean up any stray bits and bobs. Now, this is the part that would make our original Irish ASMR champion livid. The tramezzino is at a diagonal shape, not square or rectangular, but cross section. It's going to be diagonal, just like that. And there you go. You have a tramezzino. Very, very basic tramezzino. Let's go ahead and make one more. Start off with our bread, and we're going to be making a different type of tramezzino this time. We're going to be making this with prosciutto. So instead of olive oil, we're going to get our mayonnaise back. We're going to go fairly light with the mayonnaise. It is not the star of the show here, just the thing that gives it a little bit of moisture. And then, once we're done with that, we're going to grab some of our butter lettuce. Again, just ever Just a kiss. Just a kiss of it. Just a kiss of it. And now we're going to get our star of the show, which is going to be our prosciutto. Prosciutto is a very, very, very thinly sliced bit of pork. Not unlike an aged ham. And we're just going to kind of crumble that up a little bit. I don't want to cut off too much. And we're not going to have anything hanging over the edge. So, be a little bit messy with it, I guess. And we'll clean it up. So that's all I want there. Make sure that I'm looking at the right side. Tuck it in. And now it's time for us to cut. So, grab our handy blade here. And prosciutto is a bit tougher, so it's a little bit harder to cut. And, of course, waste not, want not. We'll do something with those scraps. They just won't be featured in the sandwich itself. Now, get our cross section. Goodness me. And a tough cross section, that is. Perhaps not as pretty as the other one, but there is our tramezzini. And to bring back the other one, now we have the tramezzino. Two different types of Italian finger sandwiches. For this next one, we're going to be going and visiting our friends at, where else? Dear old Ireland. So, I'll be the first one to admit this is gonna be a bit of a strange one, at least I think. We're gonna start with 2 pieces of bread. Again, no specific bread. We're just using our artisan bread that we used for our BLTs. This one is not gonna be toasted. Now, we bring in the only real, original Irish ingredient I could get, which is Kerrygold Irish butter, naturally softened, and we're going to see what this looks like. It looks like butter. So, I've never tried this. So, what we're going to be doing is just taking a knife and coating both sides of the bread. It's still a little bit firm, but hopefully that won't be a problem. And it kind of is being a problem in that. It's okay. We'll make it through. Alright. Everybody loves butter, so we'll be fairly generous here. And then we're just going to spread it on the other side. And just maybe a little bit more. make sure we have all corners of the pitch covered, and then come back to this one real quick. But that looks pretty good to me. Okay, now this is, I guess, kind of the stranger part. This particular sandwich is called a Tayto sandwich, and there's a very popular chip or crisp company called Tayto, Tayto, and a Irish staple snack food is crumbled up Taytos on bread. Now, I don't have Taytos, but what I do have are Lay's, and we're just gonna have to make do. These are just regular, no flavor added, just regular Lay's. And we're just, I guess, just gonna kind of line it up here. Now, whenever I think about potatoes, I think about an episode of Conan O'Brien that I saw. He went to the Irish Heritage Museum, and they had boxes and boxes and boxes of potatoes, and he thought that that was just the funniest thing because it's such a stereotype, right? Irishman and the potatoes. But what was even funnier was how he pronounced it. He wouldn't just say Tayto, he would go Tayto. So every time I see these, I just go Tayto. I just cannot separate it in my mind. Now, I'm used to, in America, having like tuna fish sandwich or something. It's not uncommon to have potato chips as part of it, but I've never seen something like I'm about ready to do. Oh, getting a little bit harder. I don't know if this is gonna like sound awful to some of you, but I'm gonna have to crush them to make more room, so. Good or bad. I just work here part-time, but I definitely don't just want to be eating bread and butter, so like let's pile it on here. If I would say that I wish I could tell you that there's more to this, but there's not. This is it. So we'll just. Oh gosh, there was no easy way to do that. I actually did a pretty good job, though, I think. Just gonna go ahead, and I don't know how this is gonna look, but we're gonna try to do a cross section. This is so odd, but I dig it. I dig it. All the way from Ireland, our Americanized Tayto sandwich. That brings us to our fourth and final sandwich, and for this sandwich we're going to be going to France. Now, this is going to be called a croque, Monsieur, which literally means to bite a man. It makes no sense. Or a man who's biting. Either way you say it, it makes no sense. Now, this is a souped up ham and cheese sandwich, but like the French themselves, everything is very complicated. So, first off, we gotta do some prep work. So, we have here some Gruyere cheese. And we're going to be melting this on the stovetop, so we need to make sure that we are thin enough to make this work and make it melt and be okay and not have any problems. So I do have a cheese roller slicer, but we're not going to be using that because I do want to make sure that this is as thinly sliced as possible. Gruyere cheese is great. I definitely recommend using it anytime that you want to make mac and cheese. It is a great, great cheese to put in to a homemade mac and cheese. A little bit smoky, maybe put it in with a little bit of paprika. So we're just going to be cutting our cheese here. The French love cheese, and like you're gonna see in a few minutes, they love their sauces as well. Now, that's gonna do it for us right there. I'm okay with that because we have another cheese that we're gonna add to this, and this is going to be, I won't show you the label this time, I want you all to guess. And here we are. Can you guess? That's right, the holy cheese, Swiss. So we're going to be cutting it in similar strips as well, trying to be as thinly sliced as we can possibly make it. It will just give us a bit of a leg up when it comes time to cook. It is a little bit lighter cheese, but it's also fairly bitter, again, like the French people themselves. I'm just kidding about that one. I don't think I have a single French viewer, so I guess I can talk to them or talk about them. So that is, I might do one more, because cheese needs to be cheesy, right? Alright, now we have that. We have our cheese set aside here. And I don't believe that our ham is going to need any help because this is already sliced, and it's sliced pretty good, pretty thin, and like I like it. So I think this is good. Except this is the bud. This is not sliced at all. So let me make sure that I have at least 2 substantial pieces here of that ham. So that's it. This is what we need. This is all we need so far. But like I said, the French, they make things complicated. The one thing that French cooking loves are sauces, cream-based sauces. So this is called a bechamel sauce. This is made like almost like an Alfredo sauce, to be honest with you. You make something called a roux. A roux is melted butter and flour. You're going to put in your seasonings. In this case, it was Dijon mustard, salt, pepper, and nutmeg. And then you're going to put in heavy whipping cream. And the heavy whipping cream is added. Bring it up to a boil. It's going to thicken. And pretty much you're just going for consistency here. That is our bechamel sauce. And then we're bringing back our artisan bread as well. And what we're going to be doing is coating the bread with this bechamel sauce and basically doing a grilled cheese. Now, I might have to finish this off in the oven to make sure that the cheese melts, but I'm going to have to do this off camera because it's going to be a bit of a process, but thanks to the magic of editing, it's coming back to you in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so here we are. It's about, I don't know, conservatively I'd say it's probably around 1,052 degrees right now, but we're gonna cut into it. I put a lot of it on the stovetop. Most of it was on the stovetop, but I finished it in the air fryer. food and eating sounds, but I didn't want to leave you all hanging because I've never tried like 3 out of 4 of these sandwiches, so I want to try it and let you know what I think. So let's go ahead and do a cross section. Wow, now that looks good. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the usual setup. We have our sandwiches here. Are they even in the shot? Oh gosh, it fell. I'm ready for this battle round. Like, I know, myself included, I'm not a huge fan of eating sounds. To me, they kind of are a little bit too much, but I wanted to give y'all something. I know that a lot of people do like it, so I won't do it like too intensely, but I want to see which one of these sandwiches is going to emerge victorious as our king of the first round of sandwich battles. Let's go to the first one. This is the classic BLT, the classic bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich. I can't imagine a world that I wouldn't just absolutely adore this, so let's try it out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's just a classic. That's just a classic. You got the sweetness from the bread and the tomato, and then you have a bit of that crunch with the lettuce. The lettuce doesn't have much of a, it's kind of just there. But then you have the saltiness of the bacon. It's such a good showing. It's just really, really good. Like 9 out of 10. I really don't know like what you could do to make that better. It's just great. Let's move on to what do they call it? Our Italian finger food. They call it the tramezzini or yeah, I guess it is because I have multiple here. So let's start with the first one. This is gonna be our mozzarella and tomato. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it probably would be better on the white bread, but I'm perfectly happy with it. It's fresh, it's light, it's airy, it's nice. It's not gonna wow me if I go to a party and I have these. I'm not gonna be like thinking back, oh my gosh, those tramezzino. No, but it's nice. Let's try the prosciutto one. That prosciutto is so dense. Not necessarily in a bad way, just it's like rubbery almost. That, in my opinion, it's amazing. That was really, really good. It's just like an upscale, ham sandwich. But it's saltier and brinier. It's really good. It's really good. The mozzarella one, probably like a 7, but the prosciutto one, I'll give it an 8.5. So England is still our victor so far. So, but I would eat those all day. I'd be back at those trays. They'd have to be like, sir, we need to serve the rest of the guests, and I'd say, you're serving one, and it's me. Okay. This next one, I do not anticipate taking home the victory. you never know. And this is going to be from our friends over in Ireland, our Tayto sandwich. Oh. The chips are dropping. Isn't that a saying, like when the chips are down? My chips literally just fell down. I wonder if it came from this exact scenario. So I don't want to remember what's in here, but for those of you, it's the bread, Irish butter, and a strong layer of potato chips. Let's go ahead and try it out. This is gonna be a mess, I think. Let's try it out. It's like a salt bomb. It's like a huge salt bomb. Okay. I did not think that I was gonna like this. I love this. What's wrong with me? This is like if I'm like high on life and throwing caution to the wind, I'd eat this. If I don't care about my arteries being clogged, I'd eat this. If I was in a shame spiral and I lost hope for the world, I would eat this. Like, it's so diverse. You know what? I'm going back in. This is the first one that I've gone back in. It's so salty. Why do I like this? Why do I like this? It's so good. Oh my gosh. Wow. I want to keep eating it, but I'm not going to. I have more to taste. Oh man, England, I think you might be in trouble with your BLT. So I'm going to give this a 9 as well. But we only can have one winner, so I'm going to reevaluate after our French contestant goes up. That was really good. Surprisingly good. Maybe I just liked it as much as I did because I thought I would not like it. But, I mean, it tastes like, bread and butter with chips. I mean, it's literally... It tastes like what you would think it would. It just is weirdly gratifying. Weirdly gratifying. Okay. The only thing I'm sure of as of right now is the fact that Italy is losing this one. Okay. Last, and certainly not least, at least I hope it's not least because I spent the most time and effort on it. It is the croque Monsieur by our friends in France. So, requiring a special sauce, ham, Gruyere, and Swiss. Very fitting. Let's try it out. Sorry, food makes me very excited. Wow. I think I probably could have gone a little heavier with the sauce. There's a mustard and nutmeg. I'm getting a little bit of it, but I could go a little bit heavier. I think it pairs really well with the ham. That's incredible. What the heck? Oh, y'all, I don't know how I'm gonna pick the winner of this one. Holy cow. myself into a corner here. Okay. I really like the Tayto sandwich, but I'm gonna eliminate that one just because it's crushed up chips onto pieces of bread with butter. It's great. It's comfort food, but I couldn't eat it all the time. So I think it's between the BLT and the croque Monsieur. They also have a croque madame, which has an egg on it. The French also like putting eggs on everything. Oh my gosh. So it comes down to these two, y'all. Oh, I don't know which one I can give the W to. The BLT, a staple, a classic. So good, so good, so good. I said I didn't want to do a tie, but I really want to do a tie now. I think I'm going to have to give it to the croque monsieur, and I hate myself for saying that, and I'll hate myself forever. But it's so gratifying. It's so good, and I could eat it every day. The BLT, I just don't know if I could eat it every day, so. But you know what? I might try to do more of a souped-up BLT, because I think if I have more of a thicker cut bacon, and maybe if I do a thing or two, the BLT to soup it up, I think it could be the croque monsieur, but as I'm looking at it now, the croque monsieur takes it. Oh, I hated having to say that, but the only loser here is me for having to make this decision, and I did it to myself. But the prosciutto on the sandwich, incredible. The BLT, incredible. The Tayto sandwich was the only one that I went in for twice. Honestly, there's not like a clear winner here. They're all so good, but I'm gonna pick the croque monsieur to go on to the next round, so we'll see. Let me know if you've tried these and which one is your favorite. Also, let me know if you like these kind of videos, because I'm thinking about making the sandwich video a series. So again, let me know, and we'll see if we can keep it going. Battle for Europe, moving to North America, and maybe even the States. It could be fun. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, eat